Have you ever heard of a passenger pigeon? In the past, passenger pigeons would come almost thundering across the plains. And now they're extinct due to overhunting. Have you ever heard of a bison? There are 4 extinct species of bison that used to once roam the plains, but now they're all gone due to overhunting. This is why conservation needs to be practiced, so that the kids of the future can witness such amazing creatures as these animals. Hello, I'm Kaitlyn Hague from Highmore Herald High School, and I'm concerned about the conservation of our environment. Conservation is one of the most important things in our lives. If we cannot live in a beautiful, clean environment, we can't live our lives to the fullest. Conservation used to be the big topic at dinner tables, but now people are too caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life to even appreciate nature, and do not understand that it won't be around for forever if we don't protect it. They're too caught up in looking down at their phones than looking up at the beautiful nature that surrounds us every day. I myself am even guilty of this. So how do we bridge this conservation generation gap and get the younger generation of people involved in conservation again? Well, if they're always looking down at their phones, living in a world of social media, why not use that? If there were things like conservation apps, camps, and other fun commodities, then they may be more inclined to be involved with conservation practices. Apps are a surefire way to appeal to this younger generation. Presently, most people have smartphones with multiple apps on them. If there was an app about conservation that appealed to kids, they would probably use it, especially if there was a fun game or competition involved. Also, if conservation services had advertisements on popular apps, then kids will see them and be more inclined to be involved with conservation. Currently, we do everything on our phones and tablets. Banking, business meetings, even school can be done on a phone or online. In the past, conservation district representatives used to travel around to the farms across the state and sit down and discuss with farmers about conservation practices. But now there's not time to do that. There has also been many budget cuts concerning conservation districts, so there may not be the funding to have these conversations anymore. If conservation became more mobile and linked to our phones, then people could check it and do it on their own time without cost to the conservation districts. This could be done in many ways. One being having an app where farmers and ranchers can log in or write down what they are doing to help with conservation practices. This could include, but is not limited to, practicing safe soil practices, planting trees, caring for trees, establishing wind barriers, practicing grazing rotation, and no-till farming. This data would then be sent to local conservation districts to help determine awards such as the Soil and Moisture Award, the Tree Care Award, or any other awards that conservation districts may hand out. This would not only help conservation districts help keep track of what farmers are doing across their district, but it can also help farmers keep track of what they've done all year. Because I don't know about you, but I have a pretty short memory. This app can also be used to help young adults who are just getting into farming and ranching learn what kind of conservation practices are out there. This way they can learn what conservation practices are out there, accomplish their conservation goals, and help inform their local conservation districts about what they have accomplished. This would help new farmers and ranchers get interested in conservative practices. Another way to help get younger people involved in the community, such as myself, would be to get them involved in conservation physically. This can be done by having them help with community service projects or sending them to a fun conservation camp. This can be done there. They can get involved with conservation with kids their own age and learn all they need to know to come home and accomplish their own conservation goals. How does this apply to technology? Well, if kids have a great time at one of these camps or service projects, they are likely to come home and tweet and post about what a great time they had. Then other kids in the community will see what a great time all of these camps are and will be more inclined to attend one. This could create like a ripple effect amongst the community and get more and more kids involved in conservation. So even though conservation is about turning off the phones and electronics and appreciating nature, these ways that I have mentioned can be helped to use to spread the word about conservation amongst today's youth. They can also be used to help make conservation more applicable to our busy lives and easier to use. I hope that you enjoyed this speech on how technology can be used to bridge the generation gap. Thank you.